Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. We almost to the weekend, y'all. We is almost there, so hold tight. While you are here, go ahead and like the video because baby, we in for one today. Y'all are in for one today. So go ahead and like the video before you forget and hit subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. Those interested in my personal channel, remember I am now uploading on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays remote jobs that are immediately hiring. I just posted a recent video yesterday of 5 jobs that are hiring. So make sure you guys check that out. There's even a crisis counselor job, y'all. You don't need no degree for it. It's remote. They are hiring, and I was very shocked at that one. So make sure y'all check that out. That will be linked in the comments. Now, today's video, baby, it's just the weird people for me. Mental illness is real. Mental illness is real. Okay. So I was scrolling on TikTok and I ran across this story, which I wish that I could post it, but I couldn't find the actual details of the story. The only story that I seen was a girl who was cursing every few words. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna post that because I don't have the energy to be editing out all those things. But apparently, and it's just a rumor. I don't know if this one's true or not, but apparently this girl who was dating this NBA player, or NFL, I don't remember which one, she lied about her pregnancy. She didn't got him to spend $30,000 on a baby shower, etc. So it gave me the idea of, you know what, let's talk about these girls who be doing these fake pregnancies. I do have one video on a best friend who lied to her best friend about a fake pregnancy, but I said, let's go ahead and do a whole compilation of it. Okay. So you guys enjoy. Remember, not remember because y'all don't know. Keep in mind that these stories are going to be told from other people who experience these delusional people, because we all know, girl, these women who do this kind of crazy stuff are not going to be crazy enough to get online and say that they did it. They too ashamed of it. So they're going to be telling you their experience of it. And they might even be telling somebody else who was too nervous to tell the story. So go ahead and enjoy. And I'm going to give my commentary on the end.
My brother's girlfriend faked her pregnancy for 9 months. What's going to be the end game? We shall see. I don't even know where to begin. I feel like I'm living a Lifetime movie right now, or having a fever dream. In December, my brother broke up with his girlfriend. They had been together for about 6 months, but she was worlds better than his. No longer in recovery, addict ex. In January, he decided to get back together with her after realizing she was pregnant. I had a sickening suspicion. What perfect timing, but thought, no way. The first appointment and ultrasound kept getting delayed. Being pregnant at the time with my second, I again thought this was strange and suspicious, but didn't want to put that thought in my brother's head. Finally, they had their first appointment and confirmed everything, so I thought. At that point, my suspicions faded. I mean, they had an ultrasound and heard a heartbeat. Fast forward to future appointments, their anatomy scan, etc. Alarm bells dinged, but not loudly. Their anatomy scan was pushed back because of scheduling, but eventually they had it and everything looked good. I wish I could go back and ask more questions. Ask my brother questions. But I realize now that I talked more to his girlfriend about things because she was reaching out to me. So many red flags I see now I ignored. They were due last week and scheduled for an induction this past Friday, pushed to Saturday. No beds available till Sunday. I thought it still made sense because my own induction took time to get in, and recent storms in the area may have led to overflow in their hospital. They were finally set to go in this morning at 10 a.m. Monday. Bags were packed, car seat installed, etc. They called me around 8:30, anxious but excited. Then at 3, my brother called me. She lied, he said. Sometimes, I'm not justifying this. But sometimes when you see certain people snap, and you're like, why? What happened? This is a perfect example. Because this man is sitting here expecting to hold his baby. And the baby's not gone through, miscarriage or anything, or stillbirth or anything of that sort. Bags are packed. Car seat is installed. And she lied? I think I would have to go beat her. Because the trauma she just caused, if it was my brother, the trauma she just caused my brother, I would have to put hands on her. TikTok, I don't condone violence. But if it was my brother, she would have to see me. Because not me expecting a niece or nephew, and my brother is basically heartbroken and traumatized now that he was expecting a baby and it was all a lie. Nah, she would have to see me. She would have to see me. Dumbfounded, I asked what he meant, and my absolute worst fears came true. He explained that she said she miscarried after the first appointment and didn't know how to tell anyone. I had talked with her countless times about my own pregnancy and experience, planned their gender reveal, made a hotel reservation to come see them with my toddler and newborn. I can't even put into words my feelings of grief and anger. Who does this? Who lies about a baby and pregnancy for 9 months? How can I be there for my brother? How can I ensure he deals with his own trauma and grief? I'm so scared of him spiraling and I don't know what to do. I also don't know how to even explain this to friends and clients. I've been so excited to become an aunt and for our babies to be so close in age. I just don't know how we move past this. And again, how does someone do this? Any advice or kind words would be so appreciated. He'll even tell me I was stupid to ignore the red flags would be appreciated at this point. I'm so numb. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The problem that I have in situations like this, people that could lie about something like this, like I said before in the beginning, what's the end game? Because a lot of times you see situations like this where, okay, there's no baby at the end. And situations like this, either the person confess that they lied or they make up a whole cockamamie, crazy story in their head and go and get somebody's baby and pass it off as their own. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen them stories where somebody gets lured for, getting some clothes from Facebook Marketplace and a baby ends up getting out of the mother, and she's left there to bleed out, to say. So people like that scares me because she's afraid of how he would be or how he would react to telling everybody that she had a miscarriage, which is completely normal. Your body just rejected that, embryo or that egg. Like the body naturally just did its thing. There's no reason to be so upset, so, ashamed of it that you would lie to this man and lie to everyone around you for 9 months. What was the end game? You thought he was going to be like, okay, I'll still be with you. Man, she would have to see me. She would have to see me. Because I can't even tell you how to be there for your brother because you don't even know how to be there for yourself. You was expecting to be an aunt yourself. And you have a toddler and a newborn. I'm sure money was spent, time and effort, and it was all a lie. Like, I don't know who. This is what you call the level of heartlessness that I could never comprehend and never understand, never wrap my head around. How does this even happen? I'm so sorry for you and your brother that have to even deal with that, but I hope she's gone for good. Because especially that you said that they're recovering addicts, I hope this, like you said, that doesn't make him spiral, because this is definitely something that will make him go straight down the crapshoot. So, only thing I can say is pray. Only God could get y'all out of this, out of that sinking feeling, whatever it is. Pray.
Okay, so story time on how this girl that I used to know a lot about pregnancy, like fake the delivery and everything. I thought that was weird. Don't mind me. I got on my costume. Still part of my costume from work. I was a bubblegum machine. If y'all want to see, let me know. I'll insert a picture at the end. So we was real cool, whatever. She was married, but they was going through something, and she was a bigger girl, so I really didn't realize. I didn't think about it at this time. I had never been pregnant or anything, so I was unsure of like how that works. So she was like telling us she was pregnant, whatever. Me and like these group of friends or whatever. I'm just gonna call her Coco. So Coco was telling us she was pregnant. She said she was having a boy. She went all the way down to the point that she had the baby name. Okay, y'all? Hold on. So y'all, so like I was having fun, like, you know, trying to be supportive with her, whatever. Like I love babies, like, okay, some you bringing in new life, whatever. So like she was telling us she was going to the doctor. She told us the due date was like February 14th. Like I should have known that was suspect. I mean, people born on February 14th, so that could be true. So y'all, she was telling us she was going to the doctor or whatever. Like she would disappear. So let me back up. So we was always together. We was young. We was always together, whatever, like the whole group. We was, you know, we was around each other enough to know if you was missing for a long period of time. So she would be like, yeah. She even showed us an ultrasound with her name on it. However, we found out later she had cropped some stuff online, whatever. So we gave her a baby shower, y'all. So her mama wasn't there, and like we was confused, like, well, why your mama not here? She was like, oh, you know, she don't like my husband, so she not really supporting. So her husband family there, she got all this baby shit, whatever, baby stuff, or whatever, y'all. So we like, okay, that's like weird. Like my mama still would come. Like I guess I don't have mommy issues, so I'm not really sure how all that works. So whatever. So she had named the baby, y'all, but mind you, at the baby shower, it was select people there. It wasn't all the people. Now, she was big. Now, her stomach wasn't sticking out crazy. But if she told you she was pregnant, you might have would have been like, okay, it's a possibility. She was fat, like fat ankles, everything already. So, like, it was real hard to tell. Like, this girl was worried about maternity clothes. She done made up a whole registry, everything. Like, bruh, like, you taking it too far. Part 2 coming. Okay, so part 2. So y'all, so it was just so crazy. So how we started like getting suspect was crazy because like, oh, even the husband was believing it. Like all these people was involved. I don't think one person knew that she was lying at this time. So she had told us like, well, I want to have my baby shower like 3 months early or whatever because you know I'm high risk and I just don't want to risk having the baby early. So her in-laws was there, like they had cooked the food, and this was like maybe like 10 years ago. So I was like 21. Well, I think I was 20, whatever, something like that. I was young or whatever, because I'm only 31. So she was like, what made me think about it was February came around, and she was like, yeah, they telling me the baby not moving. So then she comes back from the doctor like, oh, they say everything good. I'm already dilating. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, cool. So she's like, yeah, I want you to be in the room and I want Kenzie to be in the room. That's my other friend. Kenzie don't care if I tell the story. So, whatever. Kenzie like, okay. So she ended up not going into labor or whatever. This is February 14th was like on a weekend or whatever. So like we didn't hear from her. So I'm like texting her like, did you have a baby? Are you like I knew that everybody that had their babies on their due date. However, you were showing no signs that you were on your way to labor or whatever. So maybe like the next week, she's like, yeah, I gotta go to the doctor. 2 weeks after my due date, I'm like 2 weeks. I thought it was normally like a week or whatever. So she still like wasn't having contractions, breast to hits or nothing. So she went to the doctor, and you know February is a short month, so February was almost out. And she went to the doctor, and she came back like, oh yeah, they said I'm good for like 2 more weeks. I'm like 2 more weeks, so I had to tell my grandma about it. Like, grandma, like, do people be pregnant this long? And she like, no. She was like, I knew something was up with that girl. Now, mind you, my grandma had to knit her a blanket, everything. So my grandma, she was one of those type of people that just be saying whatever on her mind. So she's like, oh, that girl a liar. Woo, woo, woo. So, girl, so I'm like, what? So Kenzie was like, look, friend, I'm about to call her mama and just act like I'm concerned. I'm gonna act like I didn't speak to her. So we had got her mama number. So Kenzie called her mama like, hey, Coco, we haven't heard from her. We trying to make sure she didn't go into labor. Mind you, we already knew that she was on her, that she told us she had 2 more weeks. But Kenzie just was being messy. But part 3 coming up. Okay, y'all. So we talked to her mom. Her mom was like, so we talked to her mom. Her mom was like, hey, she had a miscarriage a couple months ago. I'm not sure what's going on. You know, I took her to have a DNC. So we talked to the mom. We ended up getting a timeline. And we like, well, we gave her a baby shower on this date. So the mom was like, well, I'm not sure what's going on, but she had a miscarriage. And she was like, well, she's been getting these bye-bye baby boxes here. And it started to make sense to what's going on. So that was pretty much it from that. So me and Kenzie are in college. I'm working, we're working or whatever. So like it's midterm season at school and I was working on getting a car. I was still living at home with my parents. So I was like, you know what, let me take a step back. This is really not for me. A little bit more than what I bargained for from a friend. Like I just, whatever. That's then and now. However, so about a week later, I get an inbox from her husband. We'll call him Jake. Jake inboxes me like, hey, what hospital are you guys at? Coco said she's in labor. You guys are there. She's not answering her phone. I'm like, I'm not at a hospital. I'm at school. I literally was in my school building. I was on break from classes, so I was eating. I was on lunch studying, whatever, at school. I'm like in school, so I'm like, I'm not at a hospital. I'm not sure what's going on here. So I'm like, well, I know what hospital that she said she's been going to the doctor at. So I tell him the name of the hospital. He's like, well, maybe she was in distress and she just was naming people or whatever. Maybe she's delusional because she's in labor and she sounded like she was in a lot of pain. So that was that. So sorry, y'all. I'm just put up to work. I need to go to work, but I'm gonna finish this video. So that was that. So he is like on Facebook writing all these posts. Long story short, he was at the hospital, y'all, on the phone with her. She was enacting that she was in labor, like literally pushing the baby out. He's arguing with the receptionist, like, my wife is in here, listen to her, she's in distress. Yeah, he jumped on the receptionist. He had called a case of everything. That girl was not even at the hospital. She claimed that she was in Toledo at a hospital. So she claimed that she was in Toledo at a hospital. I don't know what I just did with the video. So, but she never had a baby, y'all. Long story short, he caught a case. He went to jail. She didn't have a baby. They're still married to this day. However, the real truth was, come to part 4. So, hey guys, I'm sorry I am at work or whatever, but I'm not gonna make y'all wait no more. So, long story short, her husband ended up catching a case. He didn't do any time. He got like probation for like 2 years. They had to pay fines. I think it ended up being a misdemeanor. Like, he didn't beat the lady up, but he attacked her, and he claimed he was in his distress. But the Coco was telling people like, I was in Toledo and I lost the baby. This whole thing, she was in Toledo, she lost the baby. Long story short, the real truth is her husband, in fact, had another girl pregnant. Is why they was going through something. Now, mind you, we heard friends, she never told us this. This all came out after. So she was trying to have a baby too because she felt upset that this other woman was getting all the attention from his family and just getting all this attention. All the attention with having his first baby. So she did get pregnant, but she ended up having a miscarriage. But she wanted to keep it going. I feel like it was for attention from her husband, friends, and family. However, I didn't bash her out because I don't know what you were going through internally, mentally. I just think that's weird, and I did feel betrayed because you included all these people and your marital issues that had nothing to do with no one else. You told this lie for so long, like, at the end of the day, I really can't trust you. But to this day, they're still married. He did have that bonus child before her. She has another child now. She disappeared for like 2 or 3 years after that, and things haven't really been the same since then. I'm not her friend no more. We didn't fall out. I just think it's weird. I don't want to be around people who make up like a whole nother life in their head. But that's what happened. So they're still together. She was not pregnant. She had a miscarriage before the baby shower. Her husband caught a case. He ended up having a side chick, another woman pregnant, whatever, and that's her bonus child. And they're still together. So y'all just gotta be careful and listen to the facts. People be playing, and mental health is real. Like, that was very mental. I don't care what was going on. But I let it go. Water under the bridge, we just can't rock together no more.
Story time on how my coworker faked the pregnancy. So for many years, I worked in a hair salon doing braids, and everyone there had kids, and we would bring our kids to work with us. It was like very, very family orientated. My mom would come there, my sister worked there, so whoever didn't have a client basically helped with the kids. So one of my coworkers, she took fond of my youngest daughter. And she also was renting a room out of my mother's house. So when we were at the shop, she would have her, give her a bottle, change her pamper. And when some nights, when I wanted to hang out, she'll be like, I'll watch her. I never thought nothing of it because my daughter loves her. And my mother, lived with her. And my daughter was familiar with my mother's house. So I thought nothing of it. Everything was fine. So one day, I get a direct message on Instagram from a unknown person. It was in the request. So I checked the request, and the message says, why do you have my daughter posted on your page? Excuse me? Why do I have my daughter posted on my page? So he's like, I don't know you. And I said, and I don't know you. I'm confused. What daughter are you talking about? Because I have 2 daughters. He says, Autumn. Why do you have Autumn posted on her page? Do you know her mother? I am her mother. Yeah, no. What's your number? Because what are you talking about? Before we even got on the phone, he proceeds to send me pictures of him and my daughter. My daughter got different bobos. She got different hair styles. She has different clothes on. So you around my daughter on numerous occasions. I don't know you. I never saw you a day in my life. What's your number? So I call him, and I'm like, when did you take those pictures with my daughter? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's my daughter. Like, I'm trying to figure out why you got pictures of my daughter all over your page. Like, sir, I birthed that child on October 4th, 2014. I don't know who you are. He like, you know her mother? So let's name the girl that used to work with me. Let's name her, I don't know. What can we name this girl? Oh my God, I almost said her real name. Amy, right? So he's like, you know Amy? I say, yeah, I know Amy. She works for me. Well, that's Autumn's mother. It should have been a serious matter, but I don't take stuff serious all the time. I bust out laughing. Amy is not Autumn's mother. I'm Autumn's mother. That girl doesn't have no kids. So he's like, yeah, like she told me, like, that's my daughter. I've been helping out with her. Like, my family is involved. And I'm like, what? How? When you saw her pregnant before? That girl ain't have no kids? So he's like, nah, but like, I haven't been seeing her. She been acting funny. Like, she's sometimey. She told me that, we had our daughter and she looks like me. I'm like, first of all, sir, my daughter does not look like you. Okay, let's just stop that right there. We just gonna stop that and nip that in the butt. Autumn's my child. She's my coworker. She lives in my mother's house. So then now he's telling me, oh, this is why she don't let me have my daughter one-on-one, and I don't get to see her that often. But every time I FaceTime her, like, she showed me my child. I'm like, yeah, because we work together and she lives in my mother's house, and sometimes she babysits my kid. Now, after this, I'm just like, do I, girl? Do I her up? Like, why was you ever playing with my kid? And at this time, my daughter was 10 months when I found out. So for 10 months, he thought he had a child. You don't play with people like that. And how long you thought this was going to go on? Like, you thought eventually my daughter was going to call you mommy and call him daddy? Like, let's be for real. So after me and him hashed it out, we talked about it. You know, he was like so emotionally involved because Autumn was his first child. He never, you know, he doesn't have any other children. Why he try to talk to me? Like, you know, you cute or whatever. Like I'm saying, like I'm already, what? Sir, absolutely not. Absolutely not. My biggest concerns was like, okay, he did say she never left him alone with her, like, you know, stuff like that. But did you change my daughter pamper? He was like, yeah. Girl, TikTok, yeah. I want us to kill this girl. When I say stressed out, when I told everybody at the shop what happened, they couldn't even believe that she did that. Like, you gotta be real sick. Like, this is some real Lifetime movie stuff. Like, what made you do that? And my thing is, you know, sometimes I be down for the shenanigans. If you was getting money from this nigga, like, for my daughter, I would have been down with your little story. But I wasn't getting no PC or nothing. Like, what, sis? What are you doing? Long story short, Shorty was just moving weird. You gonna believe a stranger over me? He has proof. He has multiple pictures. He has family as witnesses. What do you have? Oh, I took her to a party and he said, oh, this baby looks like me, and took a picture with her. He has multiple pictures with her. Multiple. And I don't remember you ever asking me to take her to a party. Like, let's be for real. Like, so, TikTok, I didn't wanted to. She ended up stopped working at the shop, probably of embarrassment, who knows. I blocked her on everything. And yeah, be safe with your kids and know who you're letting your kids go with, because that's weird. Like, imagine she was in a park with her dad and another man came up to him and was like, yo, why you got my daughter with you? I would have had a big issue, and I don't even know this man. Never saw this man a day in my life. So when he was trying to holler at me, talking about he still wanted to like be involved in her life and stuff, Mister, no thank you. I apologize that you was dealing with a cornball bitch that played around with you, but we not about to play those type of games. We not. Baby, I could not believe that. Like, the proof. Like, I gotta figure out how to upload these pictures. Like, I got pictures of him with my child. Then when he sent me the pictures of Amy with my child, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Like, really? And how much was you getting from him? Because the nigga had a missing tooth. He looks dusty. He looks crazy. And I was kind of offended when he was trying to talk to me. Like, talk to me? Me. Me. No. No. Yeah, she would never be around my child again. Ever. Loser. And I hope she see the TikTok.
Just like I was saying before, y'all, mental health is real, and you really have to be a sick, messed up person, and not only that, a selfish person, if you really think doing stuff like this and pulling stuff like this is okay. Now, I remember girls doing stuff like this in like high school and, you know, younger girls to get attention, but when you're a grown woman and you're doing stuff like this, like, again, you have to be a sick person. You have to really be mentally ill to do some stuff like this, and you real deal need to get checked out. There is a condition called pseudosciasis or something like that, to where it really allows women to think that they are pregnant. Okay, so that is a real condition. I did not know about that. I found out about that when I did my last video on fake pregnancies, but you know, there's stuff like that does happen, and people be so delusional to the point they really will believe it, and their body will even start triggering symptoms of this as well. Like, this is a real thing. So It's really messed up because people really need to take their mental health and mental illness more serious. You need to get checked out. Y'all know I always talk about when you level up, you have to level up in every aspect, in every direction, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, every aspect. Because then guess what? You don't have to do low vibrational things like this to try to keep around a man. And please stop thinking that babies and even marriages keep men around. Like, if they don't want to be kept, then they not going to be kept. You can do all that with them and they still gonna go out and do what they want to do. That's why you gotta level yourself up and get yourself to where you want to get yourself, and then attract a man that is for you. Stop going out there hunting and searching and being all sad and desperate, because doing this is desperate. I'm sorry, but stop going around doing stuff like that thinking that you're going to have a good outcome. Like that man who went all off in a hospital and caught a case. I can't believe he stayed with her after that. His wife, I can't believe he stayed with her after that. I would have divorced her so dang quick. Like, because I can't even trust you now. I can't trust you with nothing now. Like, especially if he brings that other child around, like, I can't trust you at this point. But I guarantee you she probably used the excuse like, oh, I was hurt and you was having another child, and he probably felt guilty for having another child or whatever. That's probably a whole nother situation that didn't need to happen. But again, when you are low vibrational, you attract these low vibrational people. So it's like, stop thinking that situations like this is going to turn out good for you, because at the end of the day, what do you expect to happen? Just like the first lady said, what was the outcome? What was the end goal? They're going to eventually find out, okay? And I feel sorry for all the men who hasn't found out when girls lie about stuff like this. My poor little brother, this didn't happen to him twice. Now, they didn't go all far out like this, but one of them got all the way to the baby was born, and when he asked for a DNA test, tried to hold off on doing the DNA test, and then it came back that it wasn't his. Then the second one just flat out lied. And I knew that it was something up with her because she my age. And she over there talking about and she already has three children. I think she has three children already. And she in her 30s and talking about, oh, it was an accident. I didn't want it to happen, blah, blah, blah. Right? But I get that when you get pregnant the first time. However, you cannot keep using that same excuse. We are grown. We are big grown. You cannot use that same excuse. Okay, you could have went to go get a plan B if you was not on birth control. If not, get on some birth control, get on something. They even have natural alternatives for birth control now, from what I have heard. So no excuse. Women be doing that just to get attention. Okay, and I don't know why these women be doing that to my little brother, but they think it's going to make him stay around. And that's why they do that kind of stuff too, getting his poor hopes up. And so yeah, it didn't happen to him twice. So ladies, again, please stop doing this, and please freaking get the mental health treatment that you need. Let me know what y'all think, and if y'all ever witness some stories like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one.